Hey everybody, good morning or good afternoon, good evening. Seems to be the way we start this day, and it's good to have you here. Good to have you joining me for this yet another business and marketing Q&A/AMA. Q&A for question and answer, AMA for ask me anything, provided that it's somewhat relevant to business and marketing and life in general. Otherwise, if it's something I'm unqualified to answer, I will divert. But let's get things kicked off here and say hello to some people in the comments. Also, I've got some cool stuff, some cool new camera angles, as this whole busted leg situation has forced me to be creative. So we're gonna be talking here for some high quality stuff, and then we're gonna be switching over here for some more casual face-to-face conversations. Just because otherwise, you're always gonna be kind of like looking at the side of me as I've got my leg propped up awkwardly under the desk. So let's kick things off. Architectural sheet metal. Okay, and also, I know you've told me your names before, but if you don't mind reintroducing, I'll probably get you to do this each time for the next little bit here, just till I really cement them inside. But it's good to see you again, my friends, getting all the regulars here. We've got Amar. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for the lessons. My pleasure. How to use Facebook ads for supermarkets that do not serve online shopping. We'll talk about that. There'll be some good things to go over there. The McLeod. Here we go. Here we go. That's a sweet logo as well. Looks a lot like the Marriott logo. Big fan of Marriott. HRV Game and TV. Hello, Adam. Love from India. Love right back at ya from the west coast of Canada today. John Davis. Hey, from the UK. Hey, John. How's it going there? It's got to be like 3 p.m. I should start knowing my time zones better. Although ours change a lot with daylight savings time and all that stuff. Hey, Patrick. Good to see ya. From Toronto. Excellent. The East Coast, or I guess not really the East Coast. For anybody on the west coast of Canada, like anything that's past Alberta is considered East, which I appreciate is totally false. It's more like the central Canada. Kevin, good to see you. Good morning again, my friend from Lakeland, Florida. All right, Philip, with diving right into the questions, we'll hop right in there in a second there. Jacob, good to see you. Good morning. And Chesarena, howdy. And one more hello, and we'll dive right in. Mason Bourne, hello from the U.S., Kentucky, the bluegrass state. Awesome. All right, so with that said, we got an hour on the clock. Let's dive right in. So let's do this, because my back's already given out with the awkward sideways sitting. Amar, hey Adam, how to use Facebook ads for supermarkets that do not serve online shopping. So here's the deal. Back here, when it comes, I feel like one of those newscast presenters. When it comes to running Facebook ads or any kind of advertising for a business that is predominantly offline, local, not serving online, the secret really is in local targeting. In my opinion, this is where most online ad platforms shine. They excel at this because you're taking the massive amount of people that you could target, and you're narrowing it down to just this very focused geographic area. What's probably going to work well is to take a very similar style of like the offline flyers that you're printing, make them a version of, or like highlight one product at a time and split test those, just targeting the local area. So within 5 kilometers, 5 miles around the supermarket, you can run them as image ads, carousel ads, if you want to promote a bunch of different things, possibly even a video ad. But that's basically always my plan for local businesses. It's phenomenal. It works really well. If it doesn't work well, it's because of your creative, not because of your targeting. That's what's nice as well, is it removes some of the barriers to trying to figure out what's going on. All right, Philip, how much should your marketing budget be? It's my opinion. Let's go back here. How much should your marketing budget be? Your marketing budget should be whatever you can afford to spend, provided it's providing a positive ROI. Very important point. If I'm putting in $1 and I'm getting out $2, how many times am I going to want to do that? As many as I can, right? Like if I put in 10 and get out 20, put in 1,000, get out 2,000, put in 1,000,000, get out 2,000,000, put out 10,000,000, get out 20,000,000. I'm going to ride that train all day long. So you've got to figure out, first of all, what it's going to take for you to be ROI positive. And then once you're done that, man, just as much as you possibly can, provided that you're able to fulfill and deliver on what you're selling. When you're first getting started, I don't know, maybe 10% revenue, 20% revenue. But your goal should be to try to become cash positive, ROI positive on your campaigns as quickly as possible. Jacob, hello. Oh, I'm just clicking the same ones now. We're going through. Hello twice. Shavam, good evening, sir. Hey, good evening. My question is how to learn sales, best channel on YouTube. Best sales channel. Depends on your style and personality. It's like if you're looking for sort of like classic sales advice, like tried and tested stuff, I'm a big fan of Brian Tracy. Really, really good stuff there. Same with if you want to look at like Zig Ziglar's old stuff. I mean, these aren't necessarily like YouTuber style channels, but that's kind of what makes them good, right? Is like they're the old classic, like stuff that's been around forever. Zig Ziglar has a book called Secrets of Closing the Sale somewhere around my office. Great book. Like I said, Brian Tracy. Otherwise, find someone whose style you resonate with. It's like on YouTube, just like all channels and platforms, you're going to find people on each end of the spectrum. You're going to have like your hardcore closer type people that are like, make the sale or give up on life. And then on the other hand, you're going to probably have people that are closer to my style and personality, where it's going to be like, hey, how can you provide value? How can you serve? What's the process look like? How can you nurture them? How is it more about serving, where the sale is sort of the end result? So can't necessarily suggest one that I was like, you should go for that one. Just dig around, see what you like. Mocha Glow, hello. That's a cool name. I like that one. Kazu, hello from Japan. Hello. Good to see you. I studied Japanese for a while, but now I feel like I've forgot all of it, which is unfortunate. Maybe some will come back if we talk a little bit. I can like make the basic introductions. The Boiler Shop, Glen, Australia. Excellent. Oh man, we've got a wonderful and diverse audience. This is fantastic. All right, Milton. Hey, Adam, thanks for everything you do. My pleasure. Thanks for being here. I currently have a microgreens business. I just started. I did the Facebook ads and tanked, hoping to learn more from your videos. Okay, right on. So, very common, right? It's like when somebody first launches a Facebook ads campaign, if all the prerequisite steps haven't been put in place, the odds of success, I'm going to say, are like abysmally low. So you did what everybody does, and that's totally cool, totally normal. You ran ads, good for you for trying it out. The fact that you didn't get results right out of the gate, yeah, like makes total sense, right? Like advertising is often sold by many of the gurus in the space as like this magic bullet, this thing that'll solve all your problems. Just run ads and your business will grow. It's like, yes, but advertising is an accelerator, not an initiator, meaning it can take something that's already selling and doing really well and make it do better. It can't take something that's not necessarily proven yet or doesn't have the right message. The solution here is probably going to be similar to the solution I'm going to say a lot of times throughout this, which is like you've got to go through a plan strategically. Model, market, message, media, machine. That's kind of what the cheat sheet is all about. In fact, I'm going to find a way to make an overlay here. Let me see if I can do this in like 2 seconds. Otherwise, we're just going to move right on. But there's a button I can push and add text. Let's see if this works, because I would like to put that. Oh, there we go. It is going to work. Okay. So this is the website to go. Just get it for free. Perfect. Get that one for free. It's going to walk you through the 5 steps of the marketing master plan, which is going to go through like model, market, message, media, machine, and it'll show you a little bit better how to run through them. I've also got a video on understanding the basics of digital marketing, and that will explain some stuff as well. You've got to get that right before your ads have even a chance. Okay, let's burn through them. Close hanger, good morning. Good to see you again. KK, hello, Adam. This is from Taiwan. Excellent. Good to see you as well. Shavam, we've got that one. Let's see. Alex, please, I need to understand Facebook ad policy in depth. Easy. Go to Facebook ads policy and read it. That's it. You're not going to find anything that I'm going to be able to tell you that they haven't already told you on the Facebook ads terms of service. I'm looking at the wrong camera. That's the problem with too many cameras. Let's go back. Go to the Facebook ads terms of service and take a look through all of there. Everything's spelled out. It's a pain. It's annoying. It's full of legalese and jargon. But if you want to play the game, got to know the rules. All right. I'm assuming, L Skull. I almost read that as like law school. Me and my partner's about to start SMMA, for those not familiar, social media marketing agency, and we're all beginners. Any tips? Yes. This might sound cold. Hang on. We're going to go back to this camera. If you're about to start SMMA and you're a brand new beginner, the advice is to learn some stuff first. Like the basics. You're going to need them for a number of different reasons, one of which so you can actually deliver results. The other of which is because you kind of have an ethical obligation and duty to the clients that you're going to be serving to know what you're doing. So don't do all social media. Focus in on one area, get really, really good at that first, and then make that your niche. That's going to be my main suggestion, especially if you're a beginner. Don't try to do all things because you're not going to be able to master them all. and you're not going to get results. You're going to lose clients. They're going to be angry. It's an ugly, ugly scene. Mason, do I still run a marketing agency? Yes, technically. It's hidden. It's a secret. But yes, I still have a marketing agency, and I've got stake and ownership in a couple others that I do more consulting for. So I'm still very much in the game, but also unable to be found or hired. Tricky, hey? I thought all I needed to do was sit and make ads for businesses, but start to reach out to businesses as a motion designer, and they want me to do everything from design to Photoshop to run ads. Advice. Yes. So if they want you to do all of this after they hire you and they don't want to pay you, we call that scope creep, and that's the devil. You don't want to ever do that. You want to be very clear about what you do. The other thing is if you're going in and starting to do motion design, and they're starting to, and you're building up this relationship and you're building up this trust, and they're like, hey, we like you. We think you're good. We want you to do other stuff as well. It is an opportunity. A lot of people would say, forget it, stick to your niche, do what you do best and ignore everything else. If you're kind of new to this, I don't know, I'd open it up a little bit more to the areas that you are comfortable in at least, and then possibly partnering in the areas that you're not. So for example, if you're a motion designer, odds are pretty good that you know design and Photoshop. So I would say, yes, I can probably do those as well, obviously for an additional fee. If they want you to run ads, I would probably say, probably not, or learn them or find someone that can. But yeah, that's one way to increase business. Is like, what people don't understand is that the hardest part of business is client acquisition. Once you master the skill of marketing and of client acquisition, of being trustworthy enough that someone's actually going to trust you, like, everything else becomes easier because they don't want to go test someone new out. They want you. You've proven yourself. They know you. They like you. They trust you. So once you're in, you're kind of in. And then you have an opportunity to provide more services to figure out what you actually like. That's very much what I did in the early stages is I offered a lot of different services, found out what I was good at, what I liked doing, what I didn't like doing, etc. Do I think an MSc in digital marketing worth spending £15,000? Question. So do I think a master's of science in digital marketing is worth spending £15,000? Gut answer is no, but it's obviously going to be predicated on what your goals are. And is there a position that you want that requires a master's in science in digital marketing? The problem with conventional education in fields like digital marketing is that by the time you've gone through this, it's changed. Like it's changing so fast. I don't know how many people are here that saw the email that I sent this morning about changes in high ticket programs and like where people are starting to guide people more towards YouTube away from, I don't want to say away from Facebook ads, but certainly they're not putting the emphasis there. Same with webinars and that. It's like it's changed again. And a curriculum can't update that fast. Not to mention £15,000. What's that? 20 grand, 25 grand US, $1 million Canadian, whatever it is. That's a chunk of change. You could buy every book on digital marketing, take most courses on digital marketing, and if you didn't come out further ahead, I would be shocked. Tejas, is it a silent J? Good to see you. Good to have you here. Okay, let's see. Want to start my own SMMA here? There's a theme in Malawi. Excellent. Any advice or tips? And how did you work on your price for Facebook ads? Okay, so same deal applies as previously answered. You've got to become good at it first. You have to know what you're doing. As far as pricing, you're going to have to look around at your market and the value that you're providing and the potential ROI that you're able to offer. There's targeting issues as well. It's like if I were to run ads for like an ice cream shop and I get them one new customer, they make $5. If I run ads for a lawyer and they get one new client, it's $500 to $5,000. So it's like, which one's going to pay me more? So that's a factor in pricing as well. But yeah, you're going to have to take a look. Each market is going to be specific to what they're going to sustain, as well as your level of expertise, as well as the area that you want to work on. Okay, Hamed. Adam, I procrastinate a lot when it comes to content creation. Here, let's go back here. I've meant to put my first content out for months and still haven't done it. And my mic just fell off the other cables. That's what happens when you go live. Stuff happens. We'll adapt. I still haven't done it. Any tips for me? Yes. How do you do it? You find the bottleneck in what is stopping you. So this is the theory of constraints, right? It's like everything that you possibly can do, there's going to be one thing that's stopping you. It could be the scripting, the posting, the ideas, the whatever it is. You've got to find that and get it fixed. The second thing, and perhaps the best piece of advice, is that you take whatever you're procrastinating on and you put it on your calendar. And then there's going to be a bit of willpower, but it's like you're going to put it on your calendar at a certain time block, I don't know, 8 to 9 a.m. And then you have two choices. You do it or you do nothing. That's it. You either make the content that you said you're going to make, or you sit and you stare at the wall. No getting water, no going pee, no getting a coffee, no working on something else or scrolling social media. You do what you said you're going to do, or you do nothing. And I promise you, 5-10 minutes in, you're going to do it, because the brain likes boredom even less than it likes hard work. Okay. All right. Good to see ya. Hey, Adam, can you break down online photography courses launch steps a bit? Okay. So I assume you mean you have a course that offers online photography, and like, what's the steps to launch it? So this will be the same for pretty much launching any kind of online course. It depends on how developed and how proven your course actually is. If it's a brand new course, then this is going to be the policy that I like to use. So the very first thing is you've got to beta test it, which means you've got to put it out to your current audience, and you have to get a few initial members in to run them through the program. The reason we're doing this is twofold. Number one is that you're getting confirmation that the content that you're making is genuinely helpful and the people actually like it. You can get feedback and whatever it is. But the other thing, and probably more important, at least from a marketing perspective, is you're collecting feedback and testimonials, case studies, and reviews. And those are the social proof elements that are going to help to propel that to the next level. The other thing is, while you're doing that, simultaneously work on all of the other content marketing things that I'm always preaching about. You've got to create content, you've got to build the audience, you've got to nurture them, because they're going to be the buyers for your course. So a lot of people, they go into a cave and they make their course, and then they come out to launch it and they look around and nobody's there. Disaster. So hopefully that helps a bit. There's a lot more that we can go into that later. I may put out a video on that. I think it's useful. Jacob, how do you find out the psychographic info about your target audience? Okay, so there's a number of different ways to figure out the psychographics, meaning the attitudes, thoughts, beliefs, lifestyles, habits, organizations, all of the mental things that aren't the stereotypical things we think of when we think of a market. The bad answer, the bad news is there is no shortcut. Like the way that I do it personally, and I've found this is by far the most effective way, period, full stop, is I'll go into the market that I've got to create content for, make marketing for, create a campaign for, and I will literally consume everything I can find on that market. So if it was like, I don't know, what could it be? Oil painting. Now I've got to run ads for oil painting. It's a brand new oil painting studio. I'll go to Amazon and I'll buy all the oil painting, getting started as an oil painter, how to grow your oil painting business, whatever it is that's relevant. I'll get all those. I'll go to YouTube, type the same thing, and I'll watch like 10, 20, 30 videos on it. I will talk to people that are half interested in talking to me about it. I'll join Facebook groups. I'll really dive deep. And then I'll talk to potential and current customers of what I'm selling in order to get a better understanding of where they're at, their pains, their problems, their fears, their frustrations, as well as all the things they want to accomplish with that. That's the answer. I wish it was easier than that, but like that's what separates the successful people from the people that are struggling, is this desire to go through. All right, Shivam, please give me link of channel. Oh, you want me to do all the heavy lifting? You're going to have to Google it. Go Google Brian Tracy YouTube channel. You will find it. All right. Hamed, here too. Yeah, exactly. Yes. You guys are procrastination, right? It's not uncommon to procrastinate on things that you know are important, but you've got to find a way around it. The other resource I can suggest is take a look at a book called Willpower Doesn't Work by Dr. Benjamin Hardy. Great book. Willpower Doesn't Work. All right. Bree, thank you for being you. Oh, my pleasure. I don't know how to be anyone else. So I enjoy your delivery on YouTube, hence why I wouldn't miss this live. Well, it's great to have you here. I'm glad you could make it. Thank you very much. All right. Genius X, hello from India. Hello. And Doria, how old are you? Good question. 38 years old. 38. Fun story. Back in my old career, I was a corporate jet pilot. So I used to fly business jets, and I got that first job out of school after working up north and doing a whole bunch of ugly stuff when I was like 22. And you have to be like super clean shaven and all of that. And I was 22, and I swear I looked like I was 12, like barely 12. And I remember the first clients that got on the plane, and they were like, "You're the pilot?" And there was that moment of like shock filled with a tiny bit of fear. But they got on the plane anyway, and all was well. So Isaiah, hey Adam, I have a tax and accounting business. I really need to start a YouTube channel for content. Yep. I have no social media experience. Can you give me some tips for starting the channel? Yeah, right on. So first of all, good for you. You totally do need to start a channel. Couple things real quick. I'm debating putting more videos on this. I think I might have a couple as well. Like if you type in Adam Earhart YouTube, hopefully you'll find some of those videos. There might even be a playlist that has some things on naming your channel and basic strategies and that. But like right off the bat, there's a couple things you want to do. Number one is you want to make a list of all of the people in your space that are doing accounting, tax videos on YouTube. Make a list of all their channels. Find out what videos are performing best and what styles they have, what kind of content, what topics, what titles, what thumbnails. Like really do a good 4 or 5 hours of decent customer market research. Figure all that out. Then you want to start sort of scripting out, planning, bullet pointing, outlining like 5 to 6 videos to start. Ideally, when you launch a channel, you want like 5 so people can get in there and watch a bunch of different videos all at once. And then you just got to record. Like I wish there was an easier way to be like script everything and do it and go back and forth, but there's something really powerful about like recording your video and getting it out there. Man, like if you look back at my earliest videos, it's a shame that they're so blurry because if they were clearer, you'd see how like sweaty and miserable and uncomfortable I was. Like it was just awful, but you got to do it and you kind of go through it. And then the second one sucks a little less and the third one a little less. And then they just progressively grow. So the best advice is to really get started, but yeah, start by doing a bit of competitor research and seeing what's out there and then making your version of that. Vanessa just started the marketing business. Excellent. Welcome to this wild and amazing industry that we have. James, what's up? Wanted to say thanks for all the info, buddy. Hey, my pleasure, man. Thanks for being here. It's the support and the interaction and the kind words that keep this going. Elmer, how's it going? I work in the wine industry. I'm a seller. Excellent. Any advice or recommendations how to manage more effective my clients? Yeah, the best thing here is probably to build some kind of here, let's go back to this camera. Back cramps, sitting on an angle. The best advice is to get some kind of a CRM, customer resource management software. The reason that you want something like that is because it's going to allow you to put in their names, to keep track of the conversations that you're having, to possibly move them down a pipeline from previous buyers or bought before or whatever it is. You want to be able to assign revenue value to each one so you know like whose phone call never to miss and et cetera, you know who to follow up with. So a CRM is really going to be your best bet. As far as which ones to use, man, there's a ton. I am prone to, I wonder if I can add one more text thing. Let's see. aerh.co. aerh.co. Hopefully it doesn't. Oh, there we go. I think we're good. It was like auto-correcting my typing. It's like, that's not a word. I like this one. This one's aimed more at marketing agencies and businesses for marketing. It's just the one that I'm most comfortable with. And if you go through that link, I think you get like an extended 30-day free trial. I like this one for my CRM. I use it mostly for SMS and for all kinds of other fancy tools as well. But you don't have to. There's other options as well. You could look into Pipedrive. You can look into HubSpot. You can look into, who else would be fine? Like a basic spreadsheet if you want, but that's going to be your secret. Systems. Yay, systems. Okay. Good evening. What do I need beside marketing knowledge to run an SMMA? Business knowledge and clients. Whew. So the beauty of learning marketing, especially if you're going to be providing marketing and you have to know it, I would think you have an ethical obligation, in my opinion. But then you're going to be able to use the things that you learn for your clients, for yourself. There's no secret or surprise that my business grew when my clients' businesses grew. Like that's kind of how I mastered marketing, was that I would try things for myself. And if they worked, I would use them with clients. And then my clients, I would get feedback and I would try more stuff with myself. And then I'd go back and forth, and slowly and surely we'd implement new ideas. And a client would say, hey, can you now run TikTok ads? And I'd be like, look, full disclosure, I've never run TikTok ads. Do you want me to get this person? They'd be like, no, Adam, we want you to do it. I'll be like, all right, let's give it a shot. So I'd learn TikTok ads and we'd run those, and hey, those worked. So we'd use them on ourselves. And it's this back and forth, but like, there's no shortcut, no easy answer. That's actually like, pet peeve's the wrong word, but it's like red flag when if like you've got to be willing to, I don't want to say suffer, but like really, really dedicate yourself to studying before you start looking after someone else's business. All right. Okay, we've got that one already. We're doing good. James, can I throw the cheat sheet up? Totally. Let's see if I can figure this out. Look at these buttons. I used to have this fancy pad thing that I could like punch all these things in and things would pop up all over the place, and I misplaced it somewhere. So now we're going to, we're going, I don't want to say old school, but like we're just clicking the buttons. I got to find them all over the screen. Okay, Diego. I have an influencer marketing agency and having a hard time getting new clients. Which channels do you recommend for getting leads? Before I used Upwork, but it is not working anymore. So, how to get leads for an influencer marketing agency. Okay, so presumably that you're the one that's negotiating on behalf of the influencers, you're helping to match people up. This is B2B, business to business, which means you have a business, your clients are businesses. You need to find you need to find a way to get in front of them, which means you've got to use like old school B2B stuff. Direct outreach still works. So LinkedIn, not my favorite platform, but I'd be creating content there. I'd be really clear about the businesses that you help, how you help them, the kind of influencers that you match them up with. Do you have case studies, results, testimonials? Do you have proof of ROI from it? Do you have a value proposition that shows that you're helping these businesses grow their business and do a better job, et cetera, et cetera? So you need all that dialed in. I don't think I'd run ads, but I would look at them later, possibly. For me, it would be about, it's hard to say, like cold email, but done well. Not crappy cold email, not just blasting everybody. You'd be amazed. Fun fact, if you ever do cold email, get proper software, something like QuickMail or I think it's Woodpecker I've used as well. But like set up a separate domain, do it properly. One of my like worst things, and I'll flag a company immediately, is like, when they copy and paste like a whole bunch of different email addresses and they put them in the CC instead of the BCC. So it's like you see like everybody's email and someone responds and then you get like these gross chains. You got to do it better than that. The other thing you can do is direct video messages. So identify the main business and the key decision maker in that business and record a personal message for them and then send that to them. That works phenomenally well. I did that forever. Still do it once in a while. I use it all the time with like clients and things like that. It's a great way to communicate. Okay, let's see. Hey, Mohammed. Thanks for dropping a hi in there. Hello, SJ. Good to see ya. Here, let's come over to this camera. Vanessa, do I offer consulting? Sometimes, usually no. So the answer is normally not. But once in a blue moon, there is a space that I open up. So you can hop on the email list and we can stay tuned. Asan, hello, it's Pranoy from Bangladesh. Probably you're not familiar with my country. I am familiar with your country. Yes, actually, I was watching a documentary on your country last night. It was Tales by Light on Netflix, and it was about photography and what UNICEF is doing in Dhaka and helping kids in need. And I thought it was incredibly worthy and worthwhile. Great documentary, very eye-opening for anyone that's not been to that part of the world. Clothes hanger, hello. All right, I think we're doing good here. Okay, great question, because I can't answer it, which is perfect. But I can give you an answer to help you find the answer. So I want to start digital marketing. From which specific niche should I start with? Everyone always asks me this, which is cool. Totally get it. I'm not, no judgment here. But the expectation is that I'm going to be like, you should do marketing for roofers. That's the answer. That's the future. Everybody has a roof. You need to do roofing. And that's not how it works. The reality is you're going to need to find this overlap between areas that you're interested in, areas that there is market demand, meaning that there's a need for what you have, areas that you have skills in. You need to decide if you want to focus more on like which area of digital marketing as well. Like there's a very big difference between, say, doing SEO and doing like a video content strategy for brand awareness or running ads. Like all of these are different skill sets. So I have a video on this. I don't know what it's called. I could dig it up. Maybe if someone happens to find it, let me know. But it's like how to start a marketing agency or something like that. Go watch that one and it's going to show you these like 3 different overlapping circles. Maybe it's not even out yet. I guarantee there's a video on there that covers this in a little bit. I think I have another one coming out though, now that I've sort of jogged my memory. Asan, I really love your content and want to be like you. Be you, but I appreciate it. Just make stuff. That's the secret, and geek out on it as much as you can. John, does your academy cover any ads info? Great question. Okay, back to this camera. Not specifically. It covers a very high level overview of advertising and of strategy, but it doesn't go into depth into like Facebook ads, Google ads, Instagram ads, YouTube ads, TikTok ads, Pinterest ads, Twitter ads. And that should answer the question why it doesn't. Because if it went over each one of those, that would be like an 80-hour course, because each one of those warrants its own like 20, 30 hours of dedicated study. The better solution, and the reason that I've focused not on ads so much, is because I want you to figure out where you should even be first and what the strategy is going to be. And then once you learn those underlying concepts, the actual mechanics of buying ads, I don't want to make this sound, I want to be careful how I phrase this, but the reality is that like running ads, going into Facebook ads, Instagram ads, etc., that's super simple in regards to the strategy and the content. Like they've made it so easy now to go in there and to just like set up an ad campaign, or you can Google it. Like these are not strategic level items. They're very tactical. They're very mechanical. Like a fifth grader could do it. Like it's really, really, I don't want to say easy, but you can learn it. What you can't learn is all the strategy behind it. So hopefully that answers the question. That said, I do have a friend who has an amazing Facebook ads course. So if you know that like Facebook ads is it and all you want to do, then that's the way to go. Okay, Kazu, as an SEO, I ranked a couple websites. Any tips on SEO client acquisition? Yeah, let them know. Like what I like here for SEO is to go to second page. So go to Google, type in whatever term it is, Tokyo Law Office, go to the second page, find those people and show them what they're missing by not being on the first page. And then I make a video and I screen share and I was like, look, I did a crawl of your website. I put it through my analytics software. Here's all the things that you're missing. Here's what you could do. You can take this info and go run with it. Or if you'd like some help, I can do it for you. That to me is the best. You do that for like, I don't know, 50 websites. If you don't end up with 5 new clients, I'd be very surprised. Caleb, hey Adam, love your content. Currently in the process of running my first marketing campaign for a children's book, Fable, for a nonprofit. What do you suggest the best channels to leverage are? Very cool. Children's books are fun. What would I do? I would, depending on how niched it was, like if it was super, super niched, then I would go find those groups and possibly even run ads for that. Otherwise, I would be leveraging the marketing channels where the books are. So for example, I'd be looking heavily into like Amazon ads. That's probably going to be your way. Like I'd be optimizing the living crap out of my Amazon ad listing, both for the author page, for the book, for the description. I'd be accumulating reviews. I'd be doing everything I could to drive traffic that way, because then they can help and promote it for you. Same thing kind of goes when I get questions about like Etsy or other art stuff, things where they're doing marketing like on a certain platform. Like double down on that platform. That's where your buyers are. You want to hang out there. All right, clothes hanger, opened a boutique last January. I've been marketing, use Shopify, closed Shopify, use Google, Instagram, Facebook to market. Local shop has had about 10 customers since January. Should I go back to Shopify? So Shopify is it's a tool. So Shopify, WordPress, WooCommerce, they're just tools. That's not the reason that the shop isn't getting the amount of customers that you want. We can't blame the tool. It's kind of like, I just started drawing, like for the first time, got these drawing books and doing all of this. It's kind of like me blaming my pencil for like a really bad drawing. It's not the pencil's fault. So it's not Shopify. It's that we're missing something else in the sequence, in the strategy, in the plan. Again, like I said at the beginning, I'm going to be busting this open a lot. You got to take a look at this. Like, what's the model of the business? What are you serving? How are you serving? What are the things that you can sell that your market wants that has the best margins? Who's the market? Have you been really clear about identifying the ideal target market for your business and how you're going to serve them? What's the message? Why you? Why you over like everybody else that's selling these things? Is it the service? Is it the access? Is it the quality? Is it the fitting? It's got to be something. Then we can figure out the media choices. If it's a local boutique, I'm sure there's like local chamber of commerce, there's local coffee shops, there's like hardcore grassroots guerrilla style bootstrap marketing. Like there's a lot of things you can do. And then the machine, like what does that look like for you? It's going to be a lot more simple. It's going to be it sounds like local. So I would be looking around at like probably again, local Facebook ads, local other kinds of advertising opportunities. Maybe you can get a PR, public relations spot in a local paper. Don't pay for it, but if you can get it for free, go for that one. Isaiah, what kind of mic do I use? Any tips for beginner YouTube setup? Yeah, I use, let's bust it out. So obviously I'm using this one right now. This is a Shure SM7B. The quality on this one's, I think, like probably the best quality mic I've ever used. However, I need like this goofy Cloudflare thing to boost it because it's a passive mic, and then it runs into like this other thing that runs into another thing. Like it's a bit of a setup. What I use for YouTube is this guy. This is a Deity D3 Pro mic. I think it's a couple $100, so it's not ridiculous. I've loved these. I've got a few of these laying around, and then I just clip it to a boom so it points down at my chest/chin when I talk. I love that mic. That said, there's a couple ones by Rode as well that are getting even better reviews, so I would look into any of those, and they're going to be just fine. The bigger issue for getting high quality audio is going to be the proximity of the mic to your mouth, so you can hear. Like if I step back here, even if I talk louder, it's still just not going to be as clear as sort of when I get up real close and personal. Like it's just a lot more clear. So proximity is the biggest factor for audio. The second thing is going to be the preamps on your camera. So if you're using like a Sony camera, their audio preamps are phenomenal. You can just take the mic, plug it right into the camera, you're good to go. If you're using like an older Canon camera, the preamps are, which is kind of one of the reasons I switched from Canon to Sony years ago, is that every time I ran my mic into my into my Canon camera, the audio just always sounded kind of garbagey. So beginner YouTube setup, yeah, it depends on your budget. You can use your phone and a decent mic. That'll be fine. If you've got a grand or two, Sony a6400, a6600, and a decent decent lens like a Sigma 16 millimeter, those go really well. But your phone's probably good. Sarah, I have a problem with ads restricted. Okay. You and a lot of people. That's a thing with ads, is that they crack down on them pretty hard. So you'll have to be more specific though. And normally there's not much we can do. It's like if the ad platform says, hey, you're done, like you can appeal it, but you might be in trouble. Patrick, I'm finishing up the Google DM course. Any advice for what to do next? I was going to do your course next, as well as go over your book list. Yeah, I mean, clearly, here, let's go back to this camera for a second. Like clearly I'm biased. So take what I'm about to tell you with a grain of salt, but I think my course is really good. Like, I spent a long time, like years basically, cutting and pasting and putting things together and figuring this out and re-strategizing and recreating things. So I think it's really good. I think the book list is really good too. So if you like reading books, yeah, go through the book list. It's phenomenal. I think I've got 2 other videos on YouTube as well. One is like on the top 5 marketing books. You could start there. The other is like 42 books on advertising. So that's obviously a lot more books. And then I think my reading list has like 100 and some books. And I should update it again because I've come across a few more. But that's the problem, is like when you go through those, I don't even know what that would cost. 100 books at 12, 20 bucks a book. I mean, it's a good few grand, not to mention all of the time. I think you should do it anyway. I think you should definitely read those books, but the course is definitely the faster way to get to like the nuggets. Okay, Mason, thank you for all the info. I've been closing 5- and 6-figure deals for the last couple of years, but I would like to start either doing less sales for an agency or start my own. Advice. Okay, cool. So it sounds like you're doing sales for other agencies and you're thinking about starting your own. So sales and marketing, they drink from the same pond, but they're not the same thing. If you're really, really good at sales, you can make as much doing that as you can by, say, doing marketing. Like you start making higher commissions on 6-figure, 7-figure deals, 8-figure deals. It's like the commissions there are huge. But if you've learned enough about marketing and or you have enough partners that know marketing so you can concentrate on the sales of the marketing, yeah, then you can kind of write your own ticket. Like I said, I said this earlier, the hardest part of growing any business is like client and customer acquisition. I'm going to assume that you're a good person and you like what you do and you're good at what you do and you have a good product, service, et cetera, et cetera. Once all those mandatory things are taken care of, getting clients is the hardest part. Like marketing, if you're able to be the one to bring in new leads and to close and convert those leads, yeah, you're kind of like the golden goose. So, it's actually really funny. I used to think I was terrible at sales. Like I'm not anti-sales. The thing that drew me to marketing in the first place was the fact of being able to sell without ever having to sell. I just don't like, I don't know, maybe it's the people pleaser young Canadian kid in me. It's just like trying to make everybody happy and never piss anybody off. But I didn't like the idea of being like, you should buy this. I think it's really good for you. I think it'll change your life. Now, what I realized is that after believing in marketing for so long, I was selling marketing and I was selling it pretty aggressively in hindsight. So while I would never be like, you should do this thing if I didn't think it was right, if I thought it was right for someone, I'd push really hard because I thought it was right. Like, why would you not take your vitamins and exercise and drink healthy water and et cetera, et cetera? Just like I believe you should do these marketing things and you should be here and you should watch the videos. Like they're going to help you. They're going to make you better. So hopefully that helps. Okay. Yasir, thoughts on TikTok ads? Yeah. Many thoughts. Let's go back to this camera and we'll take a quick water break for a second. All right. Okay, so thoughts on TikTok ads? Yes, I think they're good. I do. I think the variable though with TikTok ads, like with Facebook ads, Instagram ads, YouTube ads, all the ads, the variable is the creative. So what you say, how you present it. This may not surprise you, but it's like when I come across a TikTok ad, any kind of ad that I like, I download and record it. So I use screen capture software. I download and record the ad. I then take the ad and I submit it to a transcription website. They transcribe the ad so I can get it word for word. And then I watch the ad while going through the transcription. So I'll watch what they say. I'll read what they say. I'll watch it. I'll read it. I'll look at the images. I'll read the text. And I dissect, like, why is this working? Why is this good? That's the level of sort of granularity I think you need to have in order to succeed today with advertising. I think you've got to be just crazy anal about the content and be like, what's going on? Why are they doing this? How are they saying this? Especially when you're putting money behind something, you need to be sure that it's going to work. If you're going to be putting in $5, $500, $5,000, $50,000. I've run campaigns in the past where you spend millions of dollars, like insane amounts of money. You better be sure that your creative is good. So yes, I think TikTok ads are good if you set them up correctly and if you're tracking them and if your audience is there and if you run all of the things that you should be doing with marketing by being accountable. Does an SMA really need a team? No, you don't. You can totally do it solo. All right. Good morning, Adam. Good morning. Mustache gone. Yeah, I know, right? So fun story about that. It was kind of hit and miss anyway. I was starting to kind of like it. I might bring it back at some point in the future. But what's interesting is like, you don't want to change too many things all at once. And with the channel, we've been sort of like upping the quality a bit and putting out more videos and trying to do more things. And I felt it was one too many variables that I didn't have exact control over. So it's cool. Like if you meet somebody for the first time, that first impression like really matters. So normally I'm pretty selective about like how I look and what I wear, at least now. I never was really before. For these lives, I feel like I can be a little more casual and a little more myself. We've got our Only You Can Prevent Forest Fires smoky t-shirt chosen by my son for me to wear today. So it's like you get to be a little more chill. But if it's the first time that somebody's meeting you and they don't have a chance to sort of form an impression or understand who you are, what you're about, yeah, you've got to be a little more calculated. It's the reason that often I like t-shirts anyway, but it's like I'll wear a plain t-shirt is because it's kind of like it doesn't really make much of a statement anyway. Then I let the content make the statement. Okay, James, we are starting an agency focusing on two things: website building and PPC campaigns for a niche market. What resources or platforms would you recommend to keep things organized? Yeah, I'm gonna send you this one again, actually. This for you is gonna be like a no-brainer. You need this one. I don't normally say that. I'm normally like, hey, go take a look around and try different things. For you, mostly for the PPC and for the CRM aspect of it, I would get this one. Yeah, I think that's it. Easy enough. Okay. Let's see. How do I get rid of that thing now? What do we got? Oh, we're doing good. We're on a roll here. Jairus, hello. I was wondering how you price your Facebook ads. Do you include the content for the ads or do you just run ads based on content that has already been created? Oh, stretch and move. So you can do it either way. There's two different, let's go back to this camera because I think this is a point worth discussing about. When it comes to running ads, doing marketing of any kind, there for a long time, especially back in like the television days, it was divided into two different groups. There was the creative side, which is the ones that came up with the content and the hooks and the titles and the images and the videos and like all the designer stuff. Then there was the media buyer side. So you had creative and you had media buying. Media buying were the people that would actually go in and negotiate with the television networks or the billboards, whoever. Now they're the people that go into the back end of Facebook. They hit create campaign, they go conversions, they install the pixel, they put 3 ad sets and 2 ads and this and that. And like that's media buying. Then you upload the creative. Personally, I liked both of them and I had more control. So I did both and I packaged my services as both when I did that. My rates varied. Like my first Facebook ad client ever, like a decade ago, was like $100. Then I realized that was a crazy amount to charge. So I charged 1,000, then 1,500, then 2, then 3, then 5, then depending on the campaign, 10. When they're spending 100 grand or whatever, 10 is not crazy. We'd go up to 15, depending on how many different things. So It varied a lot. I'd say there was like the sweet spot around a good few grand. I don't really run them anymore. Once in a while, I'll go back and I'll consult and take a look at them, but then it'll still be about $5,000 for me to even go in and look at it. So again, you're gonna have to look at your expertise, your experience, the results you're able to get. All of those are gonna be factors. But as far as creating the campaigns, like the content itself and doing the media buying, like I said earlier, the media buying is relatively simple and it's getting easier. Like they're automating more and more things. I don't think that's always the best plan. As like a quote unquote expert media buyer, I like full control. So I'll go in and turn all the automated settings off, but that's not always the best plan. Sometimes those automated settings work good. And I'm happy to admit, like when I set up 2 campaigns side by side and I go into one and I just micromanage the crap out of it, selecting everything, and then I'll just leave one on default. Sometimes the default one wins. So that's where we're going. I think it's fantastic, by the way, because it democratizes this platform. It gives you access to the same tools as I have access to, the same tools as Nike and Facebook and Apple and all those other ones. Thank you for your online course launch tips. I hope you'll make a video about course launching. Yeah, I hope so too. I think it's a good topic that a lot of people want to learn about. All right. Hello, Victoria. Have you ever worked on marketing for nonprofits? It's what I do. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the psychology of donors giving versus psychology of customers buying. Thank you. Yes. So yeah, I've done a lot of work with nonprofits in the past. Occasionally, I still do some consulting for them. The psychology is shockingly similar. But there's a couple things that you want to do. The first of which is that you really need to tap into the identity of the person that's making the donation. So how is this affirming the identity that they view of themselves as like a generous, giving, caring person? That's important. The second thing is you have to find out the issues that really like tug on their heartstrings and kind of, I don't want to say manipulate them, but definitely push them, put a little salt in the wound. They've got to feel it. The other thing is you've got to show how donating to your nonprofit increases their status. A lot of the games that we play in marketing are status games. They're like, how am I increasing my status? How am I increasing the way that people look at me and view me? How I view myself, which therefore allows other people to view me better. So that's a big factor. The other thing you can do is take a look at the book called Alchemy by Rory Sutherland. Alchemy, Alchemy. Awesome book. Very cool stuff on the psychology of marketing. And I think there's a few interesting case studies in there as well. That will help. Dan, just dropping by to say hi. Hey, right on. Good to see you. I always appreciate the highs. I like saying hi. If you saw in the email as well this morning, I saw a really interesting post this morning about like social interaction and connection and how it's like the number one predictor in a longer life. So by being here, you're living longer. Who knew? How cool is that? How do I deal with taking action? Like I struggle to start my Etsy store and take action. I put this on a pedestal, but when I think everyone else is doing this, why can't I? And why can't I just start? Okay, awesome. So this seems to be a recurring theme, which is fair. It's there's 2 things that I'm going to suggest. The first of which is that I think putting anything on a pedestal is like, that's mistake number 1, is that when we look at people that are like up here and we look at the next step that we need to take, we idolize it. We make it way bigger than it actually is. A great expression I love is every master was once a disaster. So you've got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable and with taking those first steps, knowing that they're going to lead you in the right direction. I wish I had my iPad out. I'm not going to sketch this out. I won't make you bear with me, but like imagine for a second, close your eyes, visualize this with me. People like to imagine success as like a straight line. So it's like I start over here and then I move here and then I do this and then I go there and then I end up further over there. The reality is it's sort of like this concentric circles that start in the middle and they just work their way out, and success is on the outside. And what a lot of people think is like you need to take the straight line, but none of that is the case. What you have to do is you've got to move outwards in some random direction. So move this way, move that way, move this way, move that way, try this, move that. Maybe you'll go back a bit, then you'll move this way. And at the end, you end up on the outside of this quote unquote success circle, and you realize there's more circles and it never ends, but that's another lesson for another day. So what you've got to do is you've got to find like what the smallest step you can take is right now that will allow you to do it. Almost laughably small. So it's like if your thing is starting your Etsy store, well, your job for today is Google how to start an Etsy store and read it. Your job for tomorrow is to read the same thing and take down a few notes and maybe create a free account. Do nothing else. Job for the next day, maybe upload a profile picture, maybe a description, and just like slowly but surely start to put these things together. The second thing I'll suggest is take a look at the book, The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. I talk about this one a lot. Powerful book about procrastination and resistance and all of these forces that are stopping you from doing it. The War of Art. All right. Yeah, my pleasure. Absolutely. I hope that helps. I really do. It's you're not alone. Are there very many different industry snapshots in that high-level software? Yes, there are. There's a ton. Just take a look. Solar, plumbing, roofing, chiropractor, marketing, coaching, etc. Try the free trial. See if it works. If it doesn't, cancel. Bez the dev. That's good. I like that. Keep your business green and growing. I don't fully know what that means, but I'm all about the growing. The green sounds cool. Hey, Katarina, regarding Facebook ads, can I have 2 separate businesses in one business manager, in different ads managers, or should there be different business manager for each business? It depends on how you structure it and what those, like where, it depends on basically the hierarchical categorization of your business. Fancy talk. Let me explain. I've got one business manager account. That's my incorporation, my corporation's business. Then under that, I have a ton of different pages and ad accounts from previous clients, from current clients, from clients that I just consult with or take a look at. So all of them are embedded under that. The best thing is if you've got like a completely standalone separate business, you probably want a separate business manager account with a separate credit card, a separate name, separate everything, just in case something happens. At the very least, you need separate ad accounts. So you should have one ad account per business, not necessarily one ad account per product or service. That would be ridiculous, but like one ad account per business. And again, to keep it separate, to make sure the pixels train correctly, to make sure that you're not diluting your brand by saying too many different things. There's a bunch of different reasons for that one. All right. Yusuf, hey Adam, I'm a motion designer and want to make my SMMA agency. Any advice? I'm gonna write a note here. There seems to be these there's some common threads here about SMMA and motion designers. First off, I think, hang on one sec, water break. First off, I think motion design is awesome, amazing. What other adjective can I throw in there? Incredibly valuable skill to have. And the reason is because as we transition more towards video content and more towards like short form vertical video content, if you take a look at some of my reels or like my TikToks when I occasionally blast one out there, the videos with motion design, motion graphics in them get like 70,000 views, 80,000 views. My ones without get like 300 views. I was like, it's not even comparable. Like, it's just like, why even bother with the little ones? So I think that's phenomenal. I would probably find that kind of specialty is like, hey, this is what I specialize in. I help you do this, et cetera, et cetera. And then start to get some kind of results, testimonials. I couldn't even begin to tell you. Here's the bad news. The bad news is on a daily basis, my email accounts are flooded with people offering to take my YouTube content and turn it into short form vertical videos. Flooded. Like, I couldn't even tell you how many offers I get. Like, Adam, I love your content on YouTube. I'd love to be able to repurpose it and make it into TikToks and YouTube shorts and things like that for you. In the past, I used to try these and I'd be like, yeah, let's give it a shot. Because people would be like, I'll do the first one for free. They would do the first one. It was never very good. And then I would just be like, I'm sorry, this is probably not what we're looking for. So if you're going to do that road, make sure that you're sending people good stuff, obviously. The second thing is make sure that you've got a business email address. So when I see someone, it's like happypants42@gmail.com. I was like, this person isn't as serious as I know they could be. Like, this isn't a proper business. This is someone that's trying to get their feet wet and get some experience. And I salute you for that. But it's not going to be like, I'm not going to be your test subject for that one. So hopefully that helps. Okay, let's see. Also, should I know all the social media marketing fields like you? Nope. You can focus in on one. You don't need to know them all. Start with one and then go from there. You don't need to be an expert in all things. You need to be an expert in like one area. Cheapest cost per subscriber technique for a free weekly newsletter. Whew. I like this question. And here's why. Because it's, your heart's in the right place, but the question's wrong. Because we don't want the cheapest cost. We want the best cost per best person. Meaning I can get you 1,000 leads today for $1. They'll just be garbage. I'll give away an iPad and then I'll fill up your email with people that will never buy from you. You don't want that. You want quality, and there's no platform, technique, etc. that's like better for everyone. You've got to find, again, I'm going to do this one more time. It's a good thing this thing's free because I'm really like hawking the heck out of it today. you need this thing. It's free though, so go get it. And the reason is because you've got to work through model market message, media, and machine. You have to. Because if you don't do that, you're going to end up on the wrong platform with the wrong kind of leads. You're going to be spending either way too much for people that you could have got for cheaper, or way too little filling your email list with people that are irrelevant and aren't going to read and open your stuff anyway. That said, the best way to get someone on your email list is to give them some kind of incentive to join. Case in point, this is this one. You will join the same email list by doing this. I'm going to show this. This is an important actual, this is a teaching moment here. All right. Two things. One of which is a cheat sheet. One of which is a page to join the newsletter. Both of these take you to the newsletter, the email newsletter where I send out 2-3 emails a week. This is probably how you found out about this live going on today if you weren't subscribed to the channel and hit the notification bell and all the usual stuff. Couple very cool things. The first of which is the cheat sheet delivers 10 times more leads than the newsletter. So that's the one I always lead with. I've used different kinds of cheat sheets in the past and blueprints and guides. This one works the best. It seems to provide the most value. It's short, it's easy, it's not overwhelming, it's one page. It doesn't go into ridiculous depth. It gives you a high level overview of the system and the process that I like to use. If you use that cheat sheet and you go through my YouTube videos, you're going to learn more than like 99% of people out there, for sure. The newsletter delivers less people, but it delivers a more committed person normally, because they're interested in hearing directly rather than getting something in return. So when I put out the newsletter link, the people that are on there, they tend to be more engaged and more active on average. Like, this is a gross generalization, but it's like if they're there simply because they want to hear from me, that's different than if they're there just to get something free, right? Make sense? So I would have both, but I would definitely start with the cheat sheet one. Give something away, something of value. Can I maybe introduce your course? Yeah, for sure. Go to one more link. If you want to learn about the course. I won't talk about it too much here, but if you go to adamearhart.com/academy, you'll find all the details there, including this is a sales page that I worked on for a really long time. And I brought in some of my top advisors and friends and colleagues and consultants. So if you want like a mini masterclass on how to write a sales page, I think this is a really good example. So for that reason alone, you don't have to buy the course. Just go take a look at the sales page. I think it's a good example. All right. Yeah. Baz the Dev. Oh, I read it Bez. I read it wrong. Or did I? Who knows? One of us is mistaken. Either way works. Hey, Sherman. Hey, good day. Can I get some info on pricing packages for digital advertising? Yeah, I think I've got some. I'm not going to give you anything right here simply because it's really in depth, like pricing psychology and how to go into it, and value-based pricing versus hourly-based pricing. I've got a couple videos on it that'll help. Number one, take a look at how to start a digital marketing agency and make $10K a month or something like that. That'll be your best bet. I think I go into detail there. If not enough, I've got another video on pricing psychology. That will help. Okay, few more minutes, and then I've got to go make pancakes. I actually smell them coming from the main house, and it's like seeping in through the window, and I'm hungry, and then the kids got to go to soccer. So a big day. Let's see if I can find some questions that I think will appeal to the most. This is a good one. Yes, it's personal, but I want to ask your annual income. So it's funny. I never really talk about annual income on it. And that's for a number of different reasons. The first of which is because I don't think it's fully relevant. I remember hearing about people talk about their incomes when I was first getting started. And I was either like, whoa, that's way too much. I had no idea that was possible. And it was almost deflating, or it put them in this league that I didn't think was possible for me. So I don't talk about it. That said, let me just say that it is, I used to be a business jet captain, and the money that I make from marketing and have had for years is significantly more. So hopefully that answers without answering. But yes, it's a good field to be in. Business marketing, mastering these skills, incredibly valuable. All right, Caleb. Yeah, my pleasure. Free marketing tricks. That's literally what this channel is about. So you're in the right place. There's a ton of them. You don't even know how many hours. SJ, a marketing agency owner watching your videos for the last 2 years, want a personal consultation. You are my guru. I appreciate that. Well, you're here now. This is pretty much the best way that I can offer it right now. Otherwise, normally pretty booked up. How many questions can a person ask? Are there limits? Not right now. You type them in. I'll see if I can get to them. That said, I'm playing around with an idea of a mastermind. I haven't pulled the trigger on this one for yet, obviously, because it's not here yet, but I am playing around with the idea of a mastermind and strictly limiting the amount of people are in it so I can provide more in-depth details. Not saying I'm going to or I'm not going to yet, but I have been playing around with it. Okay, I'm going to do 2 more and then I'm going to bail. Content marketing started 100 years ago with Michelin Brothers. They offered restaurant guide. Yeah, totally. 100%. That's it. In fact, it could be argued that content marketing has been around even longer than that through storytelling and through talking about basically your business and how you help people. Okay, let's find one more to do. How should I start affiliate marketing? Find things that you like and sell them. That's it. Watching from the Philippines. Good to see you. Wenkai. Can he read our messages? Of course, all of them. I don't know, but great morning. Good. Oh, let's see. I got to find one that'll help. What tool do I use to track client conversions? Hyros is really good if you're doing ads, a little expensive, but amazing. Am I going to do lives every Saturday? Maybe, maybe not. I almost didn't make it this morning because of other things going on. Am I doing them randomly? Normally Saturday morning at 8 a.m. if I'm doing them. Is Facebook dying? It is not. It's going to be fine. We got some good ones. Let's see. Let's do one more. Yes, please do the mastermind. Yes, we will see. A lot of time commitment. Okay. And yes to mastermind. Yes, we will see. We will see. It sounds possible. Okay. What will be the future of increasing demand in the platform with less supply? I'm gonna need more clarification. And then mastermind for the persons who bought the course. Yeah, I thought about that as well, actually. In fact, I thought about making the mastermind only available for people who went through the course, mostly so that everybody was on the same page. Does social media marketing need a team? Answered this already. The answer is no. And yes, I would do reviews. So, okay. A lot of good questions. I'm going to summarize the ones that I found, which is, hey, what's the future of social, of marketing? Where's it going? What can we do to prepare? A couple things. First of all, there's a lot of concerns over different platforms dying, like is Facebook dead or are ads not going to work? There will always be access to your audience. Traffic is never a factor, like a lack of traffic. Your people are always there. They're always available. The trick is identifying where they are and then how you're going to position yourself so that you're the one that cuts through the noise and becomes the irresistible business to that person. That's the secret. That's the $1 million question here is like, what can I do to connect and communicate with my ideal target market so that they value me, they appreciate me, they're willing to pay me for the true value I provide. I'm able to communicate what I can do for them in a way that actually gets them to take action. That's kind of what marketing is all about. Again, I'll guide you back to that cheat sheet. But whoever does that best wins. That's really the secret. Like if you want to do better in business and in marketing, you've got to find out where your people are, what matters to them, and you've got to go there. Now, is Facebook dying? No. Is TikTok dying? No. Like, is Instagram dying? Maybe. That might be like the one thing. They're struggling right now. They'll probably pull through okay. They're too big to fail, like the banks or whatever it is, but they're suffering a bit. That said, the opportunity really is in YouTube. So if you can make longer form videos, however those are, fantastic place to start. If you can't, you should at the very least be creating Instagram Reels, using the same video on TikTok as a TikTok, and then taking that same video and putting it on YouTube as a short for no other reason than to start populating your channel with some kind of content to establish a presence. So with that said, it's pancake time, my friends. Thank you so much for being here. Sincerely appreciate all the amazing questions, the kind words, the support. If you have more questions, I think they're going to be available. All of these chats should still show up after YouTube has its chance to do all of its fancy uploading stuff. And then you can leave comments below this video as well if you're watching at a future time. Otherwise, have an amazing weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.